blocking me. Just shut up. So I do believe that the show entirely needs a redo. There's a lot of problems. I think the beginning just wasn't good. I think the ending was great. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did think the ending was good, but there's a lot of problems. I rewatched the whole VOD. I mean, it wasn't hard. It took fucking 1 hour of my time. I did it on 2 times speed because I can't listen to myself. And I think it is good. I think there is a lot of good there. And honestly, I think I'm more critical than I on myself. Obviously, that's just what people do. But there's a lot that can be changed. For example, the 60-second timer. It's just too little. It's too little, and it's not fair to the teams. It should be 90 seconds. 90 seconds because that gives people time. And it's not fair in a lot of cases because there just is delays because we are doing it online. 90 seconds makes it a lot better. 60 seconds is just too short. Another problem that I saw, which was entirely my fault, was with Tina Kitten. That is all my fault. And anyone that thinks that's her fault and like that she fucked up, you're stupid. My fault. And then you're saying probably, what the hell are you talking about? The thing is this. I shouldn't have made those questions based on Twitch-centric things. Because the thing is, that's not interesting. That's not entertaining. It's entertaining when it's other stuff. When it's like Twitch. It should be like, what's your favorite fruit? What's your, name a condom you use. I don't know. Something that everyone can understand. And I think that's what made Schooled interesting. Schooled was interesting because we were constantly using, things outside of Twitch. So for the viewer, it was interesting to see that. It was interesting to see how much does Twitch streamers really know about outside things. Like, and the problem with something like, name something about XQC. If you don't know XQC, you're not going to know shit. You can't even take a guess because that's just not fair. And that's really unfair because OTK knows everything. It was just completely unfair, and I didn't realize that. And I didn't realize that because when I was doing the show, the mock shows, we did about 5 different times we did the mock shows. We were using my viewers. For example, Blex was there. Titterman was there. So people like that were when we were doing this, of course they knew the Twitch stuff. And that's just not fair. It's not fair, so we're never doing that again. We are changing it from Twitch-centric stuff. We're never going to use any Twitch-centric stuff. We're going to be using stuff that is more broad. Because I think the best round was when it was the bone one, or like the ache one. That was a good round. So we're going to use much more broad stuff. Another thing that we're going to do, and I'm completely changing, is I'm not using just my chat anymore. I'm not using just my chat. We're going to use other chats as well, other communities that are also going to be involved. Because that's, again, just not my fault. That's not fair. Nick knows my community. The OTK community knows my community. It's not fair when you know my community so well, and you're going to use that to your advantage. It literally was just a blowout, and it was not anyone's fault but my own. Should not have used my community. Should not have. I'm not doing that again. We're going to use multiple communities from now on. We are going to completely change almost everything about the show. Because I did read a lot of criticism, and a lot of it was correct. I think the skeleton's there, but I think that the reality is the entirety of the show, the meat is just not good. We have a lot to fix. I mean, like, we have a shit ton to fix, but we are trying to fix it this week. So, we're going to do that. Chat was actually god-awful terrible, as always. Shout out to yourselves. Literally horrible. You're being horrible now. Classic Twitch chat. It's called Parasocial. What does that have to do with what I said? What difference does me going to multiple channels for questions to... What is that? How does the show Parasocial be any different? In fact, it's even more parasocial because you're now getting multiple communities. Why does parasocial mean Twitch related? It can't be, chat. The show cannot make... It can't be. It can't be. Sorry. It's just not fair to people like Tina. And it's more interesting when you get outside, like, things. And if you're going to complain about that, holy fuck. Is parasocial only a Twitch word? No. What the fuck does that even mean? Is it only related to Twitch-centric things? No. What, chat, what are you saying? Mods, can you start permabanning people? Do you work for once in your goddamn life? Please? Chat was actually god-awful last night. Like, literally, it was the worst shit ever. And I don't think people remember... Mods, permaban. Permaban, please. I don't think people remember how bad Schooled was the first few episodes. It was awful. The show was shit. There's so many problems. It was always... Again, that was a show that literally peaked in the first 20, 30 minutes and then just died. Because it was shit. It was a shit show. And if you're going to say it was good, you weren't there. And you weren't watching. And you didn't see the feedback I got. It was horrible. Everyone shit on the show. But we slowly improved. Even the last day, we were improving the show. That's how it works. You know? I could do 7 different runs of the show, which I did over the course of a month or two. But the reality is, you can't... Once it goes live, it's a different beast. And I learned a lot from that show. We all learned a lot from that show. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with having to fix shit. I'm okay with having to make things different and make it work. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. There's no problem with it. We're fixing mic problems. We're fixing 90-second thing. We're fixing the entirety of the show. We're changing shit. I also think it's anticlimactic when the other team could just steal all of your points. Because the thing is, that works in a show like Family Feud. Because the thing is with Family Feud is you don't see the first letter. The problem with this show is you see the first letter. So when you see the first letter, you kind of could just literally talk to your team, figure it out pretty easily, and just steal all the points. So what OTK was doing was smart. And here's the thing with OTK. They never played the game. Not one of them played the game. None of them. It was a fresh new thing for them. And they never played the game. They never knew about it. So they, yeah. I'm all for the criticism, though. We totally deserve it. There's a lot of things that I'm fixing and that we learned from live stream fails mainly, and just the community in general. We're fixing all of it. Because the reality is, it was not a good show. It was not up to my par. I think it was a 3 out of 10. My par is like a 3.5. So, if we can get up to that standard, we call it a fucking day. Another thing we're going to do is we're going to take breaks. I think breaks are important. The thing is, the show felt rushed. I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why the show felt rushed is because I was rushing it. Behind the scenes, a lot of things were falling apart. Scenes were not working as much as we thought they were. Again, my fault, because I'm the one that rushed them to make these new scenes. So I rushed the show because I knew that it wasn't going to be there and we had to fix it. Breaks are important in a show because it gives everyone a time to relax. It just does. I know you're like, ad breaks on Megalol. I don't care about the $200 they make in an ad. It's to make the show break so everyone has a chance to debrief and then they go back into the show. That's why shows have... I mean, it's not why they do commercials, but I need to do that. I need to do that. So, yeah. I think overall the show is fantastic. I do think it's there. We just have a lot to fix. And I'm sure next week I'll have more to fix. And I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with keep fixing my show. Because I did that with Schooled. The thing is when you give up, right? But I'm not going to give up. I want the show to do well. I'm going to listen to criticism. And I'm going to make sure that the show gets better and better each week. And I'm okay with that. You know, Wheel of Fortune is in the same show as it was 25 years ago. You know, Vanna White somehow got hotter. So you can continue to fix your show. So I'm kind of excited for it. And I think next week will be even better. I don't think this week was miserable. Like I said, I'm